How are we all? Good afternoon, everyone. So today we'll be cutting this beautiful cowl top, okay? Because if you look at it, you think it's a jumpsuit. If you can make yours to be a jumpsuit, then fine. But this particular trouser, this particular top is tucked into a trouser. But then the material used in making this outfit is key. Okay, now if you look at the trouser very well, you will see that the material is stretchy. Okay, so now there's a lot of mistakes we all make when making cowl kaftan, and then you see people wearing cowl kaftan that looks like it's choking them, it's not really relaxed, and so if you want your cowl kaftan to fall the way this particular one fell, please, the material you are going to be using is very key. Okay, now in making cowl kaftan and you want it to fall, please do not use a fabric that is thick. Ankara cannot give you this particular falling. It will puff up, it will stand. So when making cowl kaftan, your choice of fabric is very key. Now I will suggest you use light poly or lycra. The way I'm seeing this particular fabric here, it is lycra. You can as well use stretchy crepe, any crepe that is stretchy. Okay, if you use stretchy crepe, it will give weight to that cowl shape in front and make it to fall that way. Please do not use pure cotton for cowl kaftan, except you don't want to get this particular effect. Now let's go right into this tutorial. So this tutorial is actually for one of my subscribers, and she has been on my neck. For this very tutorial, the measurement I'm going to be using is bust, shoulder 16, that is divided by 2 is 8, bust 42, under bust 34, waist 36, hips I'm using 44. Okay, now let's go ahead to plot out our
Okay, so I'll prefer to use a voice note for this
pattern,
just for the benefit of
you will see the need for us
beginners
to use pattern,
that
because
are
I'll be doing
coming
a
on
lot,
this my channel for the
and
very
those things
first
I'm
time.
going to be doing on
So
this
I'm going
pattern
to be
is
what I'm
things
doing right
that
here now is working on the
will
shoulder,
bring
and my
out this
shoulder is
particular
8
shape
inches.
we are going
Please,
to
you have
be
to watch this
we are looking
video
for.
very well for you to see a balanced cowl top. Okay, so I'm creating the neckline now. Then I want to create the shoulder. I'm marking the shoulder again 2 times so that my line will be straight, right? So I'm marking my armhole depth now, which is 9 inches. I've added my 1 inch. I just marked my 1 inch shoulder slanting just to be sure of the point. Okay, so I've created my line, and then I'm going to create the armhole curve where I'll be placing my curve later. Okay, so this top is a very technical top, so you have to watch closely and see what I'm doing. So now I am slanting out down my shoulder. You remember I marked 1 inch there, so I'm slanting it out now. Now the next thing I want to do now is connect my neckline. I use 3 by 3 inches for this neckline, but watch till the end to see how I was able to reduce this neckline to be able to look like a turtle neck. This is just standards that you just have to follow. You must have to mark it so that you don't become confused, right? So now I'm marking the center line of my armhole, and I'm coming in by 1/2 inch so that I can create this nicely beautiful armhole curve, right? So you can see the armhole curve now is very beautiful. Do you understand? So now I'm marking out my bust line, which is 42 divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Don't get that wrong. Don't get that wrong. I'll go ahead now to mark my under bust, and I'll be marking my waistline. I also marked my hip line. The camera didn't get that part. Okay, so I also marked my hip line. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this for beginners. If you are a beginner, please pay attention. Okay, I just want to start from the scratch because I've done this cowl kaftan tutorial before, and people are saying they don't understand it. But the difference between the one I did before and this one I'm doing now is that the cowl top, the design in front went deeper this time around, so watch to see how I got it. So I'm making my horizontal markings now. After I've done my vertical markings, I've made all of that. That's what I'm marking out now. Okay, that's what I'm marking out now. Now that neckline I used, I'm marking my under bust, which is under bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches, waistline divided by 4 plus 2 inches. That's what I'm marking there. The camera didn't picture the hip side, but I just marked my hip side. Now this neckline I used, please beware of this neckline. Okay, listen, don't go and say I used 2 by 3 by 3 inches. That 3 by 3 inches is just the standard. Okay, watch this video to see how I later reduced it to what you are seeing. Okay, to what you are seeing in this picture.
Okay, so
on this picture we are working, and that's all. So let's go back to the video.
But because I'm using a stretchy fabric, I will not be using that. Instead of using that, I will remove it from my waist, and my waist is my waist is 11, so I'll be removing 7.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to, instead of removing the dart, I want to snatch the waist. Okay, I will snatch the waist instead. Okay, can you see now? Now this is where the work now starts. This is where the work now starts. We are done plotting our pattern. Okay, you can see we are done plotting our pattern. Now if you look at that fabric, at that style, if you look at that style, now look at the shoulder, you will see it didn't get to 3 inches. Okay, so I'll be reducing this my 3 inches by 7.5 inch so that it will be able to lap the way it lapped on the neck. So I'll be removing ½ inch. I'll be removing ½ inch because I want it to look like a turtleneck. So I'm removing ½ inch, and this is my ½ inch. So I now have 2.5, right? Remember that I'm doing this because I'm using a stretchy fabric. That is what you have on the picture. I'm using a stretchy fabric. Now I will come to the shoulder line. Because this particular top is, right, is looking like a turtleneck, right? So I want to make mine just 2 inches, and that 2 inches I'm going to even pleat it. Do you understand? So this is 2 inches right here. Do you? Now there's something we are going to be doing later. For the back part, if you want the back to be open, okay, then it's fine. That means when you get to this area, the armhole, the back should just have from here to here, to the hip area. The back will just have from here to here, and you join it. Do you understand? But I want mine to have a back. Okay, I don't want mine to have open back like this. So because of the style you are seeing on that picture, the back will look something like this. This is going to be the person, right? Okay, this is the person now. Okay, this is my client. So I will want the top, the back of my top, to look something like this. Okay, from where that front gathered, okay, I want it to look something like this at the back. Can you see now? I want it to look like this. So I'm still going to come to the front. Now for the front, this is where I just want to use 2 inches. Do you understand? Now I want to use only 2 inches. Coming to the armhole, I won't be needing all these places again. If you check that picture, the one on the picture we are working on now, this shoulder, okay, this shoulder, it was later gathered in the sense it was passed to the back. Okay, it was passed to the back and joined behind the neck. Okay, so later on our fabric we will be adding that inches that will make it to hang at the back. So now this is 2.5, right? This is 2.5. That means this 2.5 will be transferred to this place. Okay, it will be transferred to this place because that is where what we will be using to join this particular style at the back. Now we are not going to be needing all these places again because of the type of style we are working on. So now we are creating a totally new armhole. Can you see? So this is my new armhole. This is my new armhole now. Now I'm going to be cutting this out. So can you see what our pattern is looking like now? Okay, this is what our pattern is looking like. Okay, so now we want to create our cowl kaftan. In creating our cowl kaftan, right, remember that if you look at that shoulder part, you will see that it looks like it's pleated. Now the draping in front draped even below the under bust line. Our under bust line is somewhere around here. So I want mine to come even closer to the under bust. This is the under bust line. Okay, I want mine to come closer to the under bust. But remember that it draped past the under bust a little, as if you wanted to get to the waist. But from this place was a little bit okay. Do you understand? So now I'll be slashing all through to somewhere around here, depending on how I want mine slashed. Let's go. You can make it 3, you can make it 4. Somebody called me Mama Pattern. My sister, I'm into ready to wear business. I don't know how to cut fabrics without pattern. I don't know how to, because I prefer to make mistake on my pattern and buy another pattern paper and start, instead of making that mistake on my fabric. Okay, so have you seen now? So I will be slashing this line. Make it 3 like you want, make it 4 like you want, anyhow you want it. Just do what you want. But for me, 2 is okay for me. And then I go ahead to start. But before I go ahead to slash, measure this place. Okay, you measure this place and write it down somewhere. This is 1.75. Okay, so now the shoulder is 1.75. Now you know that in slash and spread, when you slash and you want to gather it back, you have to gather whatever you spread to be exactly this place. That way your pleating will form. Okay, if you don't understand, just hold on, you will understand. Now this is the fabric I'll be using. Okay, this is just 1 yard of a beautiful fabric. Okay, now this our pattern is placed on fold, right? That way our fabric will also be on fold. Now I will get my pattern. Normally this pattern is supposed to be this way. Can you see? It's supposed to be this way, standing, right? But I will not make it standing like that again. Normally this is how it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be this way. Now to fold the cowl kaftan, depending on how deep I want it, that is what will inform how wide you should bend it. Depending on how deep I want my cowl design will determine how wide I'm going to be spreading this. Now I want mine to be very deep. You can see how deep that one is. So this is what I will do. Are you watching me? This is what I will do. Can you see? Bend it properly and then you pin. I want it to be very wide, very deep, and then I pin. I pin. Can you see? Now coming to that shoulder part, because I want my shoulder to have pleat, I'm going to be spreading that my slash equally. So I want to spread it by 2 inches. Can you see it? I want to spread by 2 inches. Okay, that means I'm spreading this area too by 2 inches. Can you see? And I pin. Can you see what I am doing? Now, you can decide to take it this way. You can decide to take it this way. If you take it this way, your chest will be open. If you take it this way, that cowl thickness will be a little bit closed. So instead of taking it all high and all low, I want to put it in between. I turned the fabric. Okay, you see the way this place bent. Still follow it like that and mark it. This is the normal length of your top. Okay, what will make you to mark like this? You will make mistake. Okay, so you will mark it like this. Just follow the whole. Okay, place the side that you have already cut. Remember this area. Place it 2 inches apart. I've already marked it. I marked it offline. Okay, because it's not staying and the fabric is shaking. Okay, it's not staying and the fabric is shaking. So now let me cut out what I marked. Okay, can you see now? This is what I cut out. Okay, please do well to note that this is the shoulder. Okay, this shoulder that we slit and we gave 2 inches gap, this is the shoulder. Remember that when we measured that shoulder was 1.75 inches. Now when you open it up, you are going to pleat this shoulder, okay, to make 1.75 inches. So let's open it up and see. Now if you used a stretchy fabric, this is my own top now. If you used a stretchy fabric, know it that all this will fall in line. Okay, it will fall very well. This fabric is not really stretchy, but I'm just using it as example for the one that is on the picture. Okay, the one on the picture is a stretchy fabric. Okay, so now I will be pleating the shoulder. Remember I told you are going to pleat the shoulder back to 1.75. I have not even done the pleating. Look at my cowl top. Can you see? Okay, can you see it has fallen? By the time you wear it, everything will fall exactly the way it's supposed to fall. Can you see the length of the deepness now? This deepness, by the time I wear it, this deepness will fall right below my breast line. Is almost on top of my on top of my under bust, going through. Then that the way we slant it up is still inside, so that you can do any adjustments you want to do. Okay, all these ones, all they are still inside, so you fold them. That is what will cause that fullness that you are seeing. Can you see the pleating that is already formed on that shoulder line? Are you seeing the pleating that is formed on that shoulder line? Okay, can you see the pleating forming on the shoulder line already? Can you see it? So the back pattern will now also take here, attach to here, and attach to here. That is if you want your own to have back, and I want mine to have back. So for the back, you will just manage to place it back, arrange it back, okay, and mark out. Now there's something I did which I did not, I marked offline for the front. Now always add half inch for sewing allowance for the shoulder. I added it when spreading that one before I marked it. Now because of the kind of neck that I'm seeing on this thing, I came down by just 1 inch. 1 inch is okay for the neck depth for the back. Now this is because I want mine to have a shoulder, right? But if you don't want yours to have a shoulder, now for that front part, just join here for the front part. That means you will give enough allowance to be able to go around the back, and you attach the back. Now if you don't want it to have shoulder, okay, if you don't want it to have shoulder, it's very, very simple. All you need to do is just create any kind of design at all that you want. Any kind of design at all that you want. This is for my back, and then I just cut out my fabric like this, and then this is what I'm joining to the front. Okay, that means my shoulder, my back part, my back of my blouse does not have all this, but me, I want mine to be, because of home training, I want mine to have back, so that's why I'm doing all this. But if you don't want yours to have back, there's no problem. All you need to do is, while cutting out the front, add enough allowance so that it can turn around to the back. Do you understand? And that is all for the front and the neckline. Now for the back pattern, you just cut it out from the armhole. Okay, this is the armhole, and you cut from here to your waistline, and that is all. You join your front and back pattern together, and that's all. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. If you have not liked, turn on your notification button, so that whenever I post new videos, you'll be the first person to see it. If you don't turn on the notification, you might not be alerted. So turn on your notification.